Hey, it's Zedmon with another HQ18 War Factory video. As you can see, my zookas are level 18. I've got a troop damage 28%, 12%, GBE 38%. We've got an attack going on in the background. So this week's War Factory is a bit different than normal. We've got a lot of grapplers. We've got a rocket launcher in range. We've got doom cannons covering the grapplers. It's a good one. It'll be interesting to see what we can pull off. I'm gonna try a couple odd attacks. You may or may not agree with them, but I'm gonna try them. As soon as I looked at this, my first thought was, will I fit in the middle of the shield generators, and will the grapplers ruin my life? So there's no reason to go to the right side that I could see. Down the bottom, there's no real free gunboat energy, so I'm gonna skip that. I'm just going to get into these shield gens, but first I'm going to try and take out the doom cannons. My fear is that with the new, I say it's not so new anymore, new behavior of the doom cannons, they'll just rip through my troops, so don't want to have that happen. So I'm going to try and clear a whole, first I'm going to clear the doom cannons, then I'm going to try and sit right in the middle of those shield gens. Probably a bad idea, but I know someone out there is thinking, will it work? So I'm going to give it a shot. So, what else we got here? Let's get into it. So first I'm going to clear these mines that are around the doom cannon, also marking the doom cannons, obviously. I'm going to clear these ones as well, just to get a little bit closer. I'm going to do a 1 smoke drop in this corner. Might have wanted to smoke first. Next time I'll probably try that, but... So 1 zooka went out. Not bad. Saved some GBE. Now, standard, let's drop 2 smokes just to be cautious. Nothing around is damaged, so I shouldn't have to flare anything. Only the 2 doom cannons are damaged, so we should be good in that regard. I'm going to make sure that this hot pot is shocked just because I don't know its range terribly well. 1 doom cannon down. Oh, should have checked that rocket launcher range, I suppose. And let's try and get this machine gun if we can. Not ideal, but we managed to get the 2 doom cannons. That's all I was after for my first attack. So now let's reload our troops. Now, as you can see, I've got a new banner in the top right corner. This is for Small Nine. I've decided to reincarnate this small task force. If you want to join, jump in. There's basically no requirements, and there's not a lot of oversight. We're just going to see how it goes. So now let's clear some mines. Yeah, if you're looking for a task force, you're low level, and you want some tips, come on in. We're basically accepting anyone. We're just running whatever operation we have room for. So now I'm going to mark all these machine guns. Marking the shield generators doesn't do anything, so we're safe there. And the artillery is more damage than the barrage did to each of the grapplers, so we should be good. Zookas should automatically target the machine guns. And let's try this out. Oh, lots of grapplers grabbed, but only got 1 zooka, so that's nice. Let's get into the middle here and see what happens. I have a feeling this is going to turn out very, very bad, but let's get in here. Oh man, I missed a mine. Oh, that hurt a lot. So we won't see the full effect of what could have been possible, because I just lost like at least a quarter of my zookas. But let's shock these machine guns and watch what happens. So we're definitely in range. The grappler, there's not a clear blind spot there. The grapplers are tearing me to shreds. I'm obviously pulling them onto mines, which is not ideal, but I guess I'm clearing the mines at least. So they're not completely killing the zookas on the first pull, so they're still getting a couple shots off, but not really how I would have preferred this to go. A couple of them have stopped grabbing though, so we're in the blind spot of a few of them. So if I can get a couple more down, maybe we can. Let's go. How many? 2 grabbing still. So I'm going to get these flamethrowers out of the way next. Let's get those marked. And How many are grabbing still? Just one, I think? Yeah, just the one. Just ugly, ugly, ugly. Okay, so hopefully we can somehow get to a point where there's none grabbing us. So we're still got one. We might maybe once that next zooka's gone, we'll be in a good spot. Might be safe now. Yeah, we are. So I've got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zookas blasting away, which will make this attack last a long, long time, I'm sure. So in the meantime, yeah, small 9, we got the code up top. Those are zeros at the end, so that's 8J98PR00. If you'd like to join, if you're looking for somewhere to call home, and we've still got some great players in here, don't get me wrong, but there's just not a lot of talk at the moment. So if you'd like to join a fairly inactive, low require, I'm not going to kick anybody. There's not going to be, it was empty. It was empty a couple days ago, and we've already got 15 people in here. I don't know. People obviously have checked in on Small Nine or seen it on YouTube that I've mentioned it in the past. So come on in. There's going to be we're at 15 right now. I'd assume we'd fill up in the next week or so. If you'd like access to my War Factory videos before everyone else, I always share them in chat first. So I guess that's one benefit. My TMOS account, there wasn't enough room in Triangle 9, so I decided to keep it in Small 9, and people started joining randomly, so I figured I'd keep it there and we'll go from there. So I've got a bunch of these shield generators, not shield generators, a bunch of these grapplers down now. I still need to get that rocket launcher down, but this is what, our second attack, so obviously the mine took a lot of our zookas, so it may be an idea to go into the middle of the shield generators. It might be an idea to bring rifles in there perhaps, but didn't work out that well for me, but I was very curious about what would happen, so now everyone gets to see what happens. I'd see part of it anyways. That mine ruined me a little bit. So on to attack number 3. I'm just going to use rifles and zookas and just let the rifles be picked off by the grapplers, and we'll see what happens. So we're going to do a side drop here. Oh, I probably flared too far up. Let's cover them with smoke. Yeah, this is ugly, ugly, ugly. Let's fix that flare spot. So too far of a flare. Definitely don't recommend pulling that one off. Now, once I get into position, I'm just going to use all my GB on that rocket launcher. I think it's got about 35,000, I think, or 42,000 health, I think. Not 100% sure, but it'll likely take... I'll have to get some of these crates first, so... Now, let's do 1, 2 barrages. 1, 2, 3... So 4 artilleries. And my artillery and barrage are not max level, so that's why it's still alive, essentially. Hopefully that takes it out. No point hitting the corners because the hot pots aren't up. I'm just going to let these do the locust approach, where they just let them scorch the earth and see what happens. So they're pulling the riflemen in, which is not a bad thing. It's saving me some health and saving my zookas still. So they're actually pulling the rifles a couple times, 2 or 3 times actually. I hope one of them hits that boom mine before my zookas get there, but there we go. Actually, I think I took 2 or 3 of them there, but we're just going to clear. I want to get these flamethrowers down if we can. All the grapplers are down, which is good. I'm just going to let them go for a while here and see what happens. So we got a couple zookas taking out the flamethrowers. They're out of range. Well, the zookas are starting to get pulled by the grapplers, so that's not ideal. We got 1 flamethrower almost down. Hitting that shock mine. Let's get back into here. Excuse me. Now hopefully, the riflemen are going to be toasted here by these flamethrowers. probably should use my gunboat energy a bit more efficiently. I've got tons left here. But barrage and artillery are so expensive, I probably should have shocked something there. But talking, playing doesn't necessarily work all that terribly well. My brain can only do one thing at a time, it seems. Let's get that crate down. Doesn't really do any point for us, but... So for 3 attacks, we've got... All I've got to do now is take down those flamethrowers, and I've got a spot to hit core. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to load all zookas, or ladies as my troop layout is called. Okay, so we're loaded. Now, let's try and do this a bit smarter. I'm going to remove these flamethrowers first. It's only 25 GBE to remove them, if my calculation is right, obviously. Yeah, so 25 GBE to take them out, and I get 6 back, so cheaper than a shock cheaper than a shock once I get up there. So let's just keep doing the drop that I've been doing all along. Maybe not necessary. I didn't check the Doom Cannon's range properly. I probably could take out these crates too, but I'm just gonna go total cautious mode and go wide left. Just to get way away from those mortars, way away from the grappler. And then I'll come back towards core with 1 or 2 smokes, probably 2. Maybe I'll gap them. We'll see where the first smoke lands. Now, if you're desperate for GBE, you could probably take that crate at the front shore there, but I'm just gonna keep it cautious. Keep it super simple. Yeah, so we can get there with 2 smokes. Not a problem at all. This hot pot scares me, so I'm gonna shock it with the mortars. I'm gonna shock the shock launchers, and let's shock the snipers as well. So we're doing a fair bit of damage. The grapplers are confusing the shock blaster a bit. It has to keep turning, so that's good. Overall, I mean, that's pretty good for Unboosted. I think the headquarters is around 600,000, I think. So next attack, it should go down. I will reload my troops here. Let's have a quick look how much health we have left. So 118,000. I can't use GB to take it down. That's way too much for this account. Maybe if I was boosted on my higher level account, I could pull that off, but we're going to have to send troops in. So same drop as always, super cautious. So there's your answer. Doom Cannon didn't hit anybody. So you can drop right there as long as that crate is good to hold you in place. Let's do the same approach. I'm just gonna rush through this and get the core down. I can probably almost flash kill it, but not quite. 118,000 is a bit too much for my low level ladies. Okay, now these attacks were done not necessarily back to back, so some time had passed when this happened, and this is going to be a huge oops moment. I completely forgot to shock the shock launchers. I think Ben Tim would say hashtag shock the shock. I didn't, and that was almost catastrophic. I managed to get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ladies surviving, and that was almost a huge failure. So be careful what you shock. And that is pretty much my video for the day. Thanks for watching. I'll have my Lazy Man War Factory hit up later. Here's my stats. Peace. Thanks for watching.